Hello, I'm Jale, welcome to my channel. This is going to be a virus check-in, energy check-in. I'm going to try and do it via area, primarily the UK and the US. If you are not in those countries, can you let me know? And the next time I hopefully don't have to do this, I will include your country. Now, very quickly, I really don't kind of want to have to channel this type of energy because it's awful, but I'm very aware that there's a lot of panic, and I feel like we need to balance this out a little bit. One thing I do want to say is if you are having any symptoms, obviously please do follow the advice. Some people have advised that ibuprofen is not good to take with the virus, but obviously please do consult your own doctor's advice. If you're obviously in the UK, please follow NHS advice. They're also talking here about bleach, something about it being airborne for 30 minutes. Now, obviously, and also about being blood type A are more likely to be susceptible. Now, what I want to say is obviously please do follow any advice you've been given by your GP, by your doctor. But I do want to offer if you are concerned with the fact that you may have some symptoms, if you're worried about someone's health, I'm going to be potentially offering that free. Now, it won't be a healing, as in I'm doing all your chakras, I'm doing everything, I'm doing your protection, you know, absolutely everything, and any other underlying health issues. This will just be to go in, have a look, remove what I need to, heal what I need to, protect you, and then in and out. So obviously, if you are wanting me to do that, please do email me. The only thing I would ask is, I'm not going to do lots of different people, and the only reason I'm doing that is I have done a few people and I need to wait until I get feedback from them, aka are they okay, you know, is there any other symptoms, has it cleared? Because there's no point me offering loads of people this and then it doesn't, you know what I mean? I need to make, because we need to make sure this works, you know. So as I say, I'm going to take a few. If I obviously get to the point where I'm overwhelmed, then I will just let you know I'm overwhelmed. And I won't be able to accept you. Maybe I'll put a waiting list on or something. I'm also going to ask for feedback at the end of it. So if you do obviously, you know, get offered this, when maybe you come to me and I say yes, I just ask for feedback afterwards, just so I can help, you know, improve my work. And to make sure you're okay, you know, that's obviously another reason. So if at any point you email me and ask and I say sorry I can't, I'm guided by spirit. I am not God. I'm not here to sit and say I'm God or source or, you know, the almighty. I don't have the ego the size of a house. So if spirits say to me no, there is a reason. It's not personal. It just means I can work with certain people and maybe some I can't. There's many different reasons for that. It could be that you have other underlying health issues, that maybe you wouldn't suit this type of treatment, or there's a million different reasons. And as I say, if you are unsure, please do ask me. There is 1 or 2 people that I've treated today that I'm still waiting to hear back from, whether or not, you know, sort of the symptoms have persisted. So we'll take it a step at a time. Okay, we'll take it a step at a time, but please don't worry. In the meantime, my acorn extract and acorn coffee has arrived. I've just signed up to a local voluntary organisation, so that at some point, if I see anyone with symptoms locally, I'll be using that treatment just to see how it works. I mean, I've tried to reach out to different health organisations, but for some reason, even the NHS in England, but for some reason they don't want to know. If you're an alternative practitioner, they don't care. They think that you don't know what you're doing. I've had people shouting at me and screaming at me on Twitter to say how dare I offer this. But first of all, I was offering it as by means of donation, and then that was because obviously I can't just I have to work as well. Like, I can't just offer every single ounce of my day free. What do I do then when I need to eat, you know? So I have to balance this out as well. I'm not just going to be walked all over just because I have an ability. I'm sorry, but that's just from the advice of my guides. I don't just sort of randomly run with something and decide that I'm so amazing that, you know, I don't even need to eat. And like, let's be real. So yeah, I need to balance this out. So again, that's another reason why if I'm sort of pulling back with the numbers or saying no, then it just means that I don't have any extra free time to spare to give my services for free. That's another thing I have to be realistic with. But again, it depends. If it, you know, it all depends on what they're going to tell us. If this starts wrapping itself up, then we're not going to have to worry about any of this. But this is just what I'm offering, all right, for the time being. So first things out here is we've got the cross and we've got the harem. Okay, I'm asking really about in general what we need to be aware of for this situation. Now notice I don't use the words that have been given. There's a reason for that. I'm not going to fan that energy. Words hold a lot of energy. I'm not about to start entering into that game, all right? There's so many different examples I can give as to why that is not the healthiest way to kind of deal with things. But anyway, this is interesting. This is interesting. This is very interesting. I'm hearing, oh, this is going to sound awful. Can I say that, Spirit? What can I say? I can't. Mother Earth is rebalancing. Let's do this in a balanced way. Mother Earth is rebalancing. There has to be at some point a balance to all things, okay? Now, okay, you might sit there and go, well, that's actually horrific. How could you possibly sit there and say people dying is a balance? I'm not God. I mean, you've got to remember, there's a lot of people that when people do suffer with these things, always start, you know, kind of turning their back on source, on their faith or whatever. Now, I'm not religious. Just an FYI, I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. And what that means is I believe that I am a fragment of an energy that I've come from, and I'm living in a physical existence as part of that consciousness that was given to me via my original point, aka source, which means that I live in a certain way and I have experiences that differ from all the other fragments of consciousness that have been chosen to incarnate on this planet at this time. That's how I view myself. The difference between people that are, in my opinion, spiritual and religious are the fact that in my opinion, religion was, oh my goodness, do I need to go into this, Spirit? Like, this is a bit deep. Oh, they're saying go on. In my opinion, religion was a starting point. It's not the end point. It was a means to evolve into the fact that we are from a certain part of, again, source. If you want to call it God, then call it God. But there's more to the story. It's like that, in my opinion, when the kind of Bible was written, the Quran was written, all the other religious texts were written, this was a means of opening people up and awakening people. And it's a beginning point, it's not an end point. So yes, the stories, the tales in this book are meant as a lesson and insight, but it's to connect you to a source point so that you can then channel that information for yourself. Okay, now at some point in time we have forgotten who we are. In my opinion, we have totally forgotten who we are. For example, I'm not I'm essentially not a human. I'm a soul living a human existence, and first and foremost, as a soul, I honor that soul, okay, and I adhere to the universal laws that were bestowed upon me when I incarnated onto this planet. Okay, now you've got to remember, if you've got a collective body of people that are all not adhering to universal laws, so for example, if there's greed, hatred, low vibrational rage, envy, and it gets to the point where the energy is outweighing the higher vibration on the planet, then there could potentially have been a manifestation of a recalibration that is needed, and I believe this is what we're experiencing. This is to allow us to reconnect with the basic things. It is like we're going back to basics, okay? It's not to say we're going to sit and be... I personally think if I am needing to be... I mean, look, I'm self-quarantining at the moment. I'm not ill. Perfectly healthy. But I'm self-quarantining because I have a mother who is of an age that she's just recovering from cancer. And I do share a home with her. I have to be respectful of the fact that she shares a home. I'm not going to start wandering around and coming back and risking that, number one. Okay, yeah, potentially if she was ill, then I could treat that. But you got to remember, if people choose not to get that treated, I can't sit and force my way into that and heal her. You know, my mum, that's her free will. If she wants to do an alternative treatment, she can do that. If she wants to do a traditional treatment, that's her right. And I have to respect that because it's her free will. But I'm still going to be respectful of her and her health, okay? So I'm self-quarantining out of respect. However, obviously, depending on voluntary services, I would personally advise, if you are in a position where you are healthy and you know that you've got a very high immune system, I'd be looking at sort of where you can look at voluntary support groups. There's one in my local area. Facebook is a good place to have a look into that, because I believe that we're being watched. And it's like there's an adage that says we treat people as we expect to be treated, and we do it in a means that you know, even when no one's watching, we do the right thing. This is not a means of, oh, let's score a few brownie points, let's try and pretend to do the right thing, but actually underneath it we're scumbags. This is we have to muck in. We all have to join together, in my opinion. Now, it amazes me the amount of abuse that I'm getting on social media at the moment is just, for me, hilarious, because I'm just kind of like, do you want to dig any more of a deeper hole for yourself? I'm offering healings, and people are like wanting to, they're coming for me, and I'm not, you know, it doesn't affect me really because I'm used to it. But I just kind of look and think, does this mean that this virus is going to continue because you're not getting the hint here? Like, is this going to continue? Because until people understand that they're not an island, you can't just sit and drift through life not giving a shit about anyone else. You have to be aware of other people. We're all connected, and people have forgotten that. People have forgotten their roots, not just in the family sense, but in a general sense of where they've come from up there. This is about a reconnection of the roots, and this is not just about the family unit. This is also about the spiritual unit. The fact that our soul tribe, our soul groups, like, you're going to find a lot of soul troops coming together at this point in time. That's the purpose of this, in my opinion, one of them. Okay, now don't get me wrong, before people start screaming at me for saying about how illnesses, you know, and the risk of people's loved ones dying is down to a spiritual thing. Of course not. It's not just to do with that, but there is an element of this, okay? And we have to be very careful about how we act. And this is the one thing I'm going to say to you. If you are in a voluntary group, stop bulk buying for people now, because this is the other thing I've got to say. I keep seeing people doing this. They're in these voluntary groups and they're bulk buying now in case someone needs it later. I get it. I get the mentality, but not, look, I'm going to be real with you. Like, my mum went shopping the other day and got literally nothing, because there's nothing in the shops. And bless her, she found one toilet roll and she was like, it's fine, you know, like, she didn't go out and buy 100. She isn't like that, you know, she's not a selfish human being. But I was fuming when she told me, because I said to her, I said, let me do it. Nope. Okay, you want to, you know, she has her free will, you've got to respect that. You know, I can't force someone, you know. So bless her. Yeah, she's really stressed out, but she'll be okay. She's a strong person, so I'll obviously I'm keeping an eye on her as well, so it's all good. I'm very protective of her. So this is about our roots, our family unit, and extending our prayers, our support, our thanks, our well wishes to everyone at this time to come together, okay? And no, this is not about, if you're in any political kind of, I'll be honest with you, I'm getting a lot of insults from an opposing political party that I'm not a body of and that I'm not a fan of, and I'm just kind of like, wow, yeah. There's a balance that's being tipped at the moment, and we have to acknowledge We have to acknowledge what is going on. This lady's on a merry-go-round. All right, she's traveling on a rainbow. There's a lesson here to be learned. It depends on whether or not you guys are, you know, are acknowledging the lessons. People may feel that their energy is being blocked or restricted by not being able to go outside or not being able to do a certain thing. I'll be honest with you, it humbles you when that happens. You're going to be stripped right down to basics. You're going to be you're going to start seeing things differently. You're going to start being thankful for little things that aren't necessarily what you would usually be acknowledging. There is a choice coming up here. There is a sort of a multiple options within this scenario that is going to be happening. There is definitely a split in terms of outcomes for this at some point in time, and I think it really depends. Yeah. This is where we're heading. I feel like if you're not already quarantined, that may be where this is heading. Okay, so I would assume that is going to be something that is going to be occurring. There's a gift. There's a gift on its way. I'm just trying to listen to what they're saying. Yeah, it's interesting. The things and the senses, the noises that you wouldn't ordinarily notice, people are going to start picking up on, and there's a reason for that. There's definitely an awakening going on. There's definitely going to be an awakening. It's like, do you know what it feels like? It's like, you know, I'm just seeing a carpet that's being pulled up. And you know, sometimes when you look underneath the carpet, there's like nails in, and you're trying to really pull the carpet up. I don't know why that is a reference. But yeah, I keep seeing a carpet trying to be pulled up, and it's like there's a new carpet that's being laid, but it's like the carpet isn't coming up from the woodwork underneath it. It's like it's trying to pull out, and it's trying to sort of like take itself away from this wood. And there's a restriction going on. So the message here is there's definitely a surrender. If you are in a position, excuse me, I'm not tired. Someone obviously is probably a little bit drained who's watching this, and I'm picking up on their energy. When I do film these videos, it can really drain me as well. Nothing against you guys, it's just the amount of people that watch. If there's a lot of people that could watch it, it sort of tends, or if there's very stressful energy of people that are watching it, I'll absorb. I'm an empath, so I absorb it. So there's nothing personal, you know. I don't mean any disrespect or anything towards you when I say that. Yeah, it's surrender to this. If you know you're going into quarantine, just look at this. I mean, look, I'll be really honest with you. It's not going to make a difference to me if I go into, I'm in self-quarantine essentially anyway at the moment. I've already placed myself in that for like the last week. I put my head, I'll be really honest with you, this is the best way to do it. I did, I'm not sure if you're aware, but I did Big Brother in 2014 in the UK. The best way into these situations is to get your head in the game, alright? And I'm going to be real with you. Once you get your head in the game, you're fine. If your head is not in the game and you're still wandering, you're going to end up winding yourself up. But you have to get your head into the game. So let's be realistic. If you, let's say, are already quarantined, look for the positives. For example, writing, right? You know, maybe you have had to clear out, you need to clear out your old DVD collection. You've been meaning to do it for years. Do that. You do want to do like a reshuffle around of your furniture, then do that. You want to spring clean, then do that. You want to learn how to meditate, then do that. There's a wealth of resources on the internet that means that we can learn something from this. Like, for example, if you want to do self-development, there's so many online classes. Take advantage of that. Take advantage of that. And again, if you want to volunteer, there's ways of volunteering, you know. I am running a support group, and I'm going to put the link in the description box. It's a Facebook support group for spiritual support. It's just somewhere that is peer-led. So again, it's like when you're able to help out, just go in there, post what you want to post. Just if you feel like you're drawn to share something with the group, then do it, because it may be that you're intuitively picking up on what someone needs, and then when you need some help, obviously you reach out to someone, and then someone will return that favour. So it's kind of peer-led essentially. And then again, obviously making sure that you're topping your own cup up first. You're not sort of doing it at the expense of you having no energy. At the moment, it's mainly me posting. And there's one or two others. There's I've got a really amazing poet in that group. He's a friend of mine, but he's actually very, I feel very, his words are just open up a new galaxy when I read them. So as I say, do come and join. There's only a few of us at the moment, but again, it's manageable. If I'm overwhelmed by it, then you know I'm not going to be able to help everyone if I need to. So the numbers are good; they suit me for the moment. But you're welcome to join. All right. What else do I need to say? Yeah, you need to put your head in the game. Like I'll be really honest with you. Like my brother's wedding, he's freaking out about his wedding, and I'm just kind of like, if it means people are going to get better, then sorry, but, and it's like, you know, my birthday's next month. Sorry, but I'd rather people not be ill and die, you know. For me personally, that would be my preference. I'm going to be 39 next month. It's not like it's, you know what I mean? I mean, it's a celebration, obviously, but it's like, I'm sure we can wait for next year, or we can just do something, you know, it doesn't matter. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, you just got to look at it from a kind of balanced perspective, but make sure you're topping up with the other vitamins. Lots of water, a lot of water, a lot of anything that's orange. If you're eating oranges, anything that is orange of colour or red would be highly beneficial for you guys. On the bottom of the deck, we've got the clouds and the fox. There's confusion here about what is true and what isn't. Okay, a lot of confusion about what is true and what isn't. Yeah, we've got the whip here. We've got the whip. There's going to be a discipline that's involved in this. Okay, we're relearning a new discipline, in my opinion. We're relearning. We're relearning how to act towards one another. 34 with the fishes. This is prosperity. There is at some point going to be a positive, because I'll be honest with you, who was it? There was a famous scientist or someone that I think either in the war or someone that was sent home. They had to stay at home within a certain period because I think it was a wartime sort of part of history where they couldn't go outside, and they did their best work in that point in time because it was like everything shut down. Everything was slowed right down. Everything was kind of pulled right back. You never know. I feel like you're going to get some very impressive situations that you're going to hear of after this situation. Yeah, there's a time thing here. This, I feel, is going to be dependent if people can really pull together and extend their loyalty, to show their care, to show their resourcefulness. I feel like the longer people act like damn fools, the longer this is going to continue. I feel like we've still got a couple of months. I feel like if you can... I mean, look, we've got spring coming up. I would say this is a perfect opportunity to buy seeds and start your own garden if you can. I know it's airborne, but again, if you're sort of creating sustainable areas, food, that would be brilliant. Is it likely to grow in a month? No. But again, you know what I mean? It's like, let's say for example this goes on for longer. I mean, I'm going to have to keep checking up on this. If I had to kind of tune into the timeline now, because don't forget, we're on one timeline, but I feel that this is happening. This is going to happen very soon, where I'm going to have to trace 2 potential outcomes or more. Now, at the moment, they're saying May for most places. So March, April, May. So that would be 2 months. But let me just jump to the end of this month here. Let me just jump to the end of this month, because I know the end of this month we have got a lot coming up. can't be right. They've just said something to me in my head, but I'm just going to double check that information. Where is that for? Is that for the UK or the US? I don't know if I like that information. The guides are all looking at me. I hate it when they do that. So I'm just kind of like, I feel Americans who are watching this, check into your neighbour if you can. I'm hearing love thy neighbour. I feel like someone's trying to really strip this back to basics here. I'm going to be really honest with you. Let me just double check this information here. America, the information I just got for America. Can you clarify that, please, Spirit? Clarify. I've got the compass and the ring. There's a potential change of direction in amongst all this, in the public. There's a potential change in the air for America about what they're going to recommend. I'm hearing lockdown. I'm going to be really honest with you. I would obviously listen to your local authorities' advice, but I would not be going ridiculously, insane and sort of buying up, 5 million years worth of food. I think that's ludicrous, because I don't think you're going to need it that long. I would say, I don't like giving advice to bulk buy food. I don't like giving that advice. Let me just link in with my ancestors here, because I'm getting conflicting information. Give me 2 secs. They're telling, I see, look, even my ancestors are saying bulk buy for America. I would say if you can get away with a month's worth of food without restricting other people. If you go to the supermarket and there's food there, make sure that you're buying a little bit, that you can afford to. But I would say definitely join a local group if you can, to volunteer and can reconnect with people, because then that way, if maybe someone's got what you're missing, then you can swap, and you know what I mean, it's like an exchange system. There's 2 potential outcomes here. Either there's going to be a month of lockdown, they're advising a month's worth of food, but again, I don't, something in my energy that just doesn't feel like that would be the case. It's like, don't panic like that. I don't know if someone's maybe been thinking if that's going to happen, so they're putting that, I don't know if someone's watching this that thinking, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to. I would say if you're of an age where you are elderly, then go and do that, right? If you are over a certain age and you have underlying health issues, I would say you need to go and do that. If you are a normal healthy human being, then don't, in my opinion. Is there going to be a lockdown at some point in America? Let's have a look. I don't feel, it really depends, because this is the thing. I feel like you're gonna have like areas that are going to go into lockdown, but I don't know if you're going to have to do it in your homes. I think it depends on what your local area is doing. Everyone's going to be different. Show me America, please, for Corona. I think you guys, yeah, I think you could have 3 months of this, but I see travel after 3 months, possibly 3 to 4 months. This is going to go on in America because it's a bigger country. What's going to happen? Are they going into area lockdown? Is there going to be... I think you're going to end up at some point going into a home lockdown. Hang on a minute. I think you're going to end up... No, I'll take that back. I think you're going to end up having travel restricted, and I'm talking about going out of your local area, travel restricted. And I don't know why, but for some reason it's like letters are being posted through letterboxes. It's like we're reverting back to some kind of 1920s, like quite literally, type of contact. It's bizarre. I'm trying to, like, everyone's trying to connect, but they're doing it in a different way. There's going to be like this coming together of neighborhoods. America, what can you tell me? I don't see, I see mainly men getting this, affected by this. I see mainly men being affected by this virus in America. I don't see children, I don't see women, I see mainly men. They're saying, there is going to have, like, put it this way, if you are watching this from America, then I feel like there's like, yeah, it's going to take like 2 to 3 months. Different areas are going on lockdown. Different areas are going on lockdown. Local travel may be allowed, but I don't see, I feel like, you know, other travel probably going to get locked down. But this is really dependent on, there's going to be a lot of shifting of spiritual consciousness, and I feel like there's definitely something about Donald Trump here being protected, but let's, yeah. I don't see it going on for more than 2 or 3 months. Right, let's just, obviously we'll keep checking up on this stuff, but let's have a look at the UK now. What's happening for the UK? If anyone's watching from the UK and has been watching the press conferences that Donald Trump's been delivering. Messages for our UK people. What's going to happen, please, Spirit? Yeah, look, we're fine. Look. The mice in reverse. Mice is about loss. This is about not a lack, okay? And it's come up reverse. So I think people need to chill out with the whole food thing. I really do. I think in the UK, people have got enough food now for the next 16 years in their homes, and I think you need to chill out. But this is tipping a balance. There's another balance that's being tipped because there's a warning here of sneakiness. If you are acting in a sneaky way where you don't care about other people, then I would be correcting that immediately. Because there's some sneaky people. We've got the stork in reverse, so this is about, again, family and someone that's a particularly selfish. Put it this way, if you are a selfish human being in the UK, I would be severely looking at someone's trying to profit. Someone is trying to profit from this in the UK. There's a well with the combined with the mice. It's like a wishing well. Someone's it's up and down whether or not we're going to be. I don't see at the moment home quarantine. I don't see that at all in the UK. I don't see that. But again, that may change because it's showing the home with the two. Let's have a look. What else can you tell us, please, about this UK situation? Virus, what's happening, Spirit? Someone is being really sneaky, though, in the UK about all this. They're not telling us something, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, look. Stephen just confirmed it. Look, communication, Fox. They're not telling, I'm going to dig. They're not telling us something. By the way, if you want me to next time go into more depth with the US, then let me know. I just don't know how many viewers we have in the US. I need to have a look into that. Put where you're from in this comments, and then next time I'll be able to look into that for you. Someone is not, Boris, old Bojo is not communicating something here, and it's definitely him. I vowed I wouldn't be doing political predictions, but apparently I'm going to have to. Spirit is saying that's your forte. Wow. someone has got such a narrow sense of, I mean, this is really bad. Look, whoever this fox is, this unsavory, unsly character is, who is not communicating a truth. There's something they're lying about. This is an extremely selfish human being. We've got the whip with the stork in the reverse. The stork is about family. And with it being in the reverse, I feel like you may hear about Boris Johnson's family getting ill. And now, obviously, we're going to be nice and kind. We obviously do not wish that on anybody. That's just number one. I do not wish that on anybody. Doesn't matter what people's opinions are of that. I think that's, you know, not okay. You know, there was the health secretary in England. She got ill, and she's got a 93-year-old mother living with her. And I did actually send her a message to say, you know, get well soon. As much as I'm not a fan, I'm not going to start lowering my energy for that kind of thing. It looks like someone is going to take advantage of the lack in the UK, all right? And based on that, they're going to decide whether or not to put everyone into quarantine. But there's a lie in amongst all this, and it's going to result in a leading government person that's going to either catch it or their family will. I feel like the family will. You've got to remember, Boris Johnson's fiancée is pregnant. So we've got the sun here, which can indicate children, and then we've got the clover, which is about luck. So there's something here around lucky children. There's also something that's going to happen around the summer that is going to provide luck. And obviously we're entering into the spring in the UK on the 21st of March, which will be officially the first day of spring. We are going to have obviously spring for 3 months, so that's March, April, May, June. So the end of June, the 21st of June, which will officially be summer solstice, we are going to see a development that is going to reflect how our government have treated the UK citizens. In fact, I'm just going to spell it out. I feel like people are going to absolutely kick off in summer about how the UK government has treated everyone, all right? Because there's going to be a major failing. I'm going to just put it out there. I feel that I want to have a look into this lying about communication, because we've got the letter on the reverse. What is he going to lie about? What is the lie going to be, Spirit? What is the lie, please, being told in the UK at the moment? What is the lie? We've got the Tower in the reverse. So they're lying about the system not coming down. They're lying about it. Let's have a look. Let's dig a bit here, because I'm not feeling this energy right now. Right. So either, let's have a look. What is the Tower reverse? Why is it so Boris? Someone's lying about the Tower reverse. So what is the actual reality then? What is the actual reality in the country? Okay, so the lie is that there's something severely happening, all right? That there's a severe shortage, there's a severe lack. There isn't. This government's being extremely greedy, and what you're going to find is that people are going to figure this out, and it's going to kick off, all right? Now, obviously, we're going to be okay. It's going to be there towards the government that people are going to kick off, because people are going to start becoming a bit more aware of what this guy's doing, or what this situation... Because people are making money out of this, from what I'm looking at. Now, here we go with the political predictions. This is why they almost banned me from YouTube from saying all this. Because obviously, let's be realistic, it's not exactly the most complimentary information. But I'm going to be real. Sorry, stop being shady. You're our leader. Stop being shady. Right, so anyway, guys, UK, you're fine. Okay, I know we're having shut down from schools on Friday. I think we've got a couple of months where this is going to go into, but I think you're going to see Boris is going to be lied about many things, and that's going to be found out. It's not the shortages we're going to be fine. Okay, the shortages aren't going to be, I'll be really honest with you, I kind of feel like they're trying to get people to panic buy because it boosts the economy a little bit, and then there's just something about this that is not adding up. All right, so just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I kind of feel like I need to dig a little bit deeper into the America though. That's what they're leading me to do. America, what can you tell me about America? Here we go. I'm going to get all kinds of dodgy threats now, but whatever, man. It's just like, you know, getting to the point where I'm just kind of like, well, you know, people are worried. I'm a light worker. I've got to do the job, right? Okay. So Spirit, what can you tell me, please? What's the real situation about the US and this freaking virus situation here? What can you tell us? What is the actual reality here, please? None of this lie. Right, you guys, yes, there's a lack. There is actually a serious lack, all right? You guys, make sure you have provisions. Just going to keep it real. There is definitely a lack in America now. I feel it's based on how many of you guys there are. They're not going to be communicating this. We've got the letter in the reverse. They're not going to, I'm hearing they're not going to communicate this until the last moment. Let me see. We've got dice. That's not, let's see. Dice can be good or bad, depending on the other cards around it. And we've got the anchor as well. So let's just have a look what other cards come out. We can compare what else they want to say. What else can you tell us, please, America? What do the viewers need to know? I don't know why I'm sitting. Right, let me just clarify that. Right, first of all, I'm going to be real. We've got the tower and the dice. There is a structure that is coming down, but we'll clarify that in a moment. I'm hearing the financial market. That could be an issue. Right, so mice. What's the mice with the woman? There's going to be a lot of confusion that's going on. What is the mice with the woman, please, Spirit? A lot of confusion. It could be. Do you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if it's something like, why do I feel like it's a really sexist thing? It's like, if you're in a household and you're not married, then you have to go to work. And if you're in a partnership, then the woman should stay at home and the man should go and work. Like, why do I feel like there's going to be an announcement in America that's that sexist? It's going to just be like, are you actually, sorry, are we in 1920s again? And I'm getting the fox again. Now, why is there a fox in the woman? Why is there the fox in the woman? Yeah, parents. It's like there's going to be, I don't know if it's like a parental clause or a parental tax or a parental booster, or like a bit of money they're going to give. But it's like, yeah. Do you know what I should have done? I should have timestamped this for the areas. And what I might do is I might do that next time. If you start putting notes in the comments about areas you're in, so I can tune into each one, and then I'll timestamp the different areas, and I'll do it that way. I'll try and go back through this and timestamp, even though I've been jumping here, there and everywhere. But if someone can do that, if you want to, then that'd be awesome. Confusion. What is the fox and the woman? Yeah. I feel like that it's like, do you know what? It just feels like the war, when the men had to go out and fight and the women had to stay at home and deal with the house. Why do I feel like this is the same thing? There's something about that. It's either that they're going to make the women stay at home and then the men have, like, it's just, there's something about that. What is the anchor with the Clover? What is the anchor with the Clover? You guys are going to be okay. You guys are going to be okay. This is not going to, I mean, it's going to wobble things. I'm going to be real. But you've got an anchor and a Clover, and the anchor is rooting you into a solid position. This is like a solid, rooted to the spot. So we've got Clover and anchor here. I don't think this, put it this way, if you're panicking to the point where it's like the country's over, I really don't think it is. I think you need to just do what you just chill out a little bit. And I'm not saying don't think about it. I'm just saying there has to be a balance here. There's no point, you know, freaking hysteria and then there's no practical elements being looked at. We've got the letter in reverse with the cross. What is the letter in reverse with the cross about, please, for America? The letter in reverse with the cross. Oh, that was weird. People are gonna, yeah, you're gonna find there's gonna be some weird. I'll be really honest with you. I'm getting like there's something around either the Christian church. Someone's going to reach out or do something like, oh, the charities, like, let's go and, you know, the Christian church should help these people or something. And it's like they're going to be nowhere to be seen. It's like all the people are going to expect to help are not going to help. And I feel like you're going to hear about stories of where religious areas are going to be closing down places, and like people are going to go, well, just use your church. Do you remember when there was, I think it was Hurricane Harvey, when that church in Texas closed its doors and everyone was like sort of wondering why they couldn't let everyone in because it was a huge church and let everyone stay there. But that you're going to see more examples of religious people that are not very Christian or very giving. Now that's not going to be for everyone, but you're going to see, it's like there's going to be a light of truth shone onto people's instincts and people's what your basic human needs are, but it's like revved up to 100, where people are going to be extremely, their true colours are going to show. The true colours are going to show, and there's going to be a toppling with this dice in the tower. There's going to be some kind of a, yeah, people are going to start seeing things that weren't there. People are going to start realising things. And it's not, this is not just, because this is the thing, Spirit aren't showing me like, oh, there's going to be so many like deaths and stuff like that. Because look, we've got the scythe, which is reversed. It's more people's instincts and true colours that they're talking about. I feel like there's going to be a lot more cases of extraordinary people coming out, and also horrifically un-extraordinary people that will be coming out. And I think it'll be a mix of that. Anyway, I'm very aware this has gone on for 48 minutes now. So any last messages, please, for those who are considering worrying about corona or have been affected by this virus? What can you tell us, Spirit? Outcomes? Outcomes? Yeah, we are moving forward. Things are going to progress, okay? This can mean travelling, but it can mean movement, all right? And look, public. All right, so this is public movement. So they're not talking about everyone going into lockdown indefinitely across the whole world. I'm not saying that. I feel like when maybe Italy come out, another area will go in, and it's like at the moment the UK, I'm not seeing that. I'm really not seeing that. And in America, you may get different areas, little areas that maybe either are self-imposed to do that, or maybe that, you know, in particularly bad areas or particularly affected areas, you might see certain towns that do that, but I don't see there's no way everyone's going to be doing it at the same time. There's just no way. Okay guys, so as I say, I'm going to keep maybe trying to do this as and when I'm guided to do it. Any questions, just pop it in the description box. The support group link is going to be in the description box. The email address for me is going to be in the description box. Take good care of yourselves, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. All of those who've been liking, sharing and subscribing, thank you. It means a lot. Take good care of yourselves and speak soon.